He wished he could join the festivities as a regular man and she as a regular woman, each unburdened by darkness and duty, but that wasn't the hand they'd been dealt. Besides, he couldn't picture her ever entertaining a dance with him. Even though he could feel a shift in the dynamic between them that night, it wouldn't undo the years of resentment she'd felt towards his previous title. It also wouldn't wash his mind of the horrors he dealt to her people in the Brotherhood's name. There was less tension between them, but something new replaced it. The prior tension was filled with animosity, as if she could decide he wasn't worth the trouble and end his life at a moment's notice. That all vanished, and instead, there was a pulsing beat attracting them into each other's orbit. It burned in his blood, unsettling him. He wanted her, all of her, and there was no denying that. Even without the lust spirit's influence, he longed to be by her side. He just needed to accept she'd never return such affection, or his desires. Maybe if he'd never become a knight or was an elf like her, they could have been something. There was just too much pulling them apart. There was no point in trying to woo or court her. It would only end in pain for him and a return to that uncomfortable tension when she inevitably rejected him. The last thing he wanted was to make her feel more pressure due to his own foolish heart. "The others are back," he said, breaking the silence as he noted the berserker and shield maiden heading their way with food in hand. "You should really try and rest after you eat." She sighed, her breath coming out as a white cloud around her tempting lips. "You'll eat and rest eventually too, right?" He froze on his way down the short steps leading off the porch. "I'll try." Once her cabin was out of sight and all that lay before him was the frenzied celebrations overtaking the village, he repeated their night by the lake in his mind. The way she'd let him protect her from Gnarl, yet still held him back from making a mistake by slitting the other man's throat. The sound of her shaky voice as she'd asked for his forgiveness earlier in the day. The sorrowful story she'd cried out to the lake. The warmth of her hand through his gloves. Despite everything between them, he thought she might truly care for his well-being. She wouldn't ask him to rest and eat otherwise. She wouldn't sew protective runes into his cloak if she didn't even care for him just a little. She laughed with him, let him see her cry, and trusted him to keep her safe. That might not have been enough for romance, but there was something just as important blooming between them. Friendship. He couldn't stop the smile forming on his lips at the thought. Yes, if nothing else, we can be friends. What an honor.